Hi everyone. This video will show how to generate travel areas. Here we are looking at central Pennsylvania and the 5 campuses of Harrisburg Area Community College, with the largest campus being at Harrisburg. We have one at Lebanon, one in Lancaster, one in York, and one in Gettysburg. Now, one of the recent things that we've had to do is do academic verification for student accounts due to all the fraudulent activity of student accounts. So we have a system whereby anybody that lives within 50 miles of a hack campus has to come in face to face to verify their identity. So what I want to do is I want to create that 50-mile travel distance from the campuses so that we know who has to come in and who does not. So with that, I'm going to come to analysis, and I'm going to go to tools, and the travel times is a use proximity tool because it's looking at distance. So I'm going to come here to generate travel areas. Once here, we select the input layer, which will be the hack campuses. And then we say whether it's going to be driving time or drive distance or any of these other ones that you see here. You can do trucking time and distance, walking time, distance, and rural driving time and distance. But we're just going to do driving distance. And then here you can put it in the cutoffs. And this is where you can create multiple buffers should you want to. Like, let's say that you want a 10, 20, 30-mile distance from each campus. You can generate multiple buffers for each campus, which is cool, and I'll show you that in a moment. Or you can just put one. So I'm going to put 50, and then the units are going to be miles, and then I'm going to use the travel direction away from input locations. And now the overlap policy. What I want to happen if the polygons overlap, which they're definitely going to overlap because it's going to draw a 50-mile polygon around each one of these campuses. And for what we're looking for, we just care if they're within a 50-mile distance of any campus. So I'm going to dissolve it because that way it becomes one big polygon, and we can see anybody who lives in that polygon has to come in, and anybody who lives outside of that polygon, that doesn't have to come in. And then I'm going to name this hack verification. And I'm going to run the tool, and it will begin the running process. And as with other analysis tools, this will add a new data layer to your layer list, and it won't impact any currently existing data sets that you have, so it won't modify anything. And remember, if you're like me and have an impatience problem, you can watch this run to see its progress, even though it doesn't really do a great job of giving you the progress. But nonetheless, I will watch it. And while that's running, because I hate to have dead airtime, if you need any type of geospatial jokes, that's a perfect use for AI. Anyway, luckily, it's rendered, and we have the data, so you don't have to listen to any more advice or jokes. But this is the area that students if they live in this polygon, they have to come in to a campus, to the Welcome Center, to verify their identity. So what we would then do is we overlaid all the student data, which I'm not going to do here just because of privacy reasons. You overlay the student data and do an intersect, and any of those that intersect the polygon are the ones that have to come in to verify their identity. And then just to kind of close the loop here, the tool that you would run after this would be that under manage data, overlay layers, and then you would select the intersect option here to get that student list. So that's one example of generating travel times. But like I said, we can also do multiple buffers, and that's what we tend to, what I have tended to do the most previously. So I'm going to go to generate travel areas again, input my campuses. I'm going to do drive time because now I'm interested in how many students live within certain drive times of a campus, and I'm going to do 10, 20, and 30 minutes. So I'm going to put 10, hit add, and 20, hit add, and then 30 and hit add. And then again, you select your units here. I want minutes, and I'm going to keep the away from input locations. And this time I'm going to let them overlap because I think that's important to see the distinction, because then we can also, if we wanted to filter out the data set by using this little filter tool up here to just show, say, the Gettysburg drive times versus all of them, because you're going to see in a second, it looks a mess when they're all showing at one time. So here I'm going to call this campus drive time. And then I'm going to just put 10, 20, 30. So I remember with the drive times I used were from looking at the layer name. I'm going to hit run. And again, this will run the polygons. Now, while this is running, let me talk about what we would do next. Similar to how when we generated the hack verification polygon, we could overlay students to see how many lived within that 50 miles. We could do the same here and see, well, how many hack students live within 10 minutes of a campus, 20 minutes of a campus, 30 minutes of a campus. And that's actually kind of useful information for weather-related incidents, because it allows us to see, well, if a lot of our students are coming from, a longer distance, we probably want to really be err on the side of caution with delays and closings so that students don't put themselves at risk. And so now we can see that the drive time polygons have run. And notice that they are pretty irregular shapes, and that's just because of the road network. It's not like the buffer tool where that gave you that nice neat polygon, because that was just using a measurement, not using the road network along with it. So if I click on any one of these polygons, just so you can see what you get, it's telling us that this is the polygon that's between 10 and 30 minutes at the Harrisburg or the Gettysburg campus. So it just tells you which one that is. And again, we would, to actually determine how many students are within each band, we would use then the summarize within, because that summarizes how many students are within each area there. So a couple of examples of drive time. And for me, this is one of the more commonly used tools, just because of the nature of some of the things that I get asked to do at my institution and at other places. So this is something that is really helpful. And if you're doing any kind of walkability studies, this is a great little tool as well to see how long it takes to walk to certain places. And for campuses, that could be a really cool thing, just seeing how long it takes to walk from one building to another if you have a large sprawling campus. So I hope you enjoy the tool. Good luck.